Okay, so this is video 8. Okay, so now I said, okay. What is it? Okay, let me see. I gotta find my place. Okay, so, okay, I gotta make sure. Okay, so I'm not on the right one. Am I? Let me see. Oh, wow. Let me get my right place. Oh, I'm glad I looked in twice because I wasn't in the right place. Okay. Let me get comfortable. Okay. When I sit back, it spreads my body out. And I look fat, and I don't want to look fat. I don't want to be fat. I don't have nothing against fat, but I just don't want to be fat. You know? And when I sit back, it makes me look fat, and I don't like that. Just letting you know. Little FYI. Okay, so let me find my place. Oh, no, I don't need that. What am I doing? Okay. Okay, so here we are again. Okay. Okay, so, and I had to take those big old glasses off because the glasses didn't look so cute. Not to me. Okay, so I had to take them off. This video should look better for me, you know? Because, it was not fun for me. Okay, now, so, I gotta find out my place. We did that. Okay, we did that. Okay, we did that. Okay, so this is where we must be. Make sure. We did that. Okay, we did that. Okay, we did that too. We did that too. Okay, so we're going to start here. It is a job. Da, 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 da. Okay, so here we go. Oh my goodness. I'm finding this one here. Okay, we were at the, where were we at? Oh, I'm going to take off my glove. I have to take off my glove. I have to take off my one glove. Okay. Because this keep on messing up. And I don't like that. How far are we into? 3 minutes? Okay, so it was uncomfortable because when I lay back, it made me look fatter, you know? I didn't want to look fatter. Okay, so let me cover myself up here dressing on camera. Okay, so what's that? Okay, now let me see where I am. We did the goodbye. We did the 1929. That. I think we did that. I gotta find out where I am. Let me see. Okay, so I'll just start here. What most DMT melanin richly black Afro-Kemetic Hebrew Israelites are not aware of is after the SS Kanazi uh, Zionists ethnically cleansed the Afro-Kemetic nation of Palestine, okay, destroy all the Arab nations as they have done to Libya and Iraq, and they seek to do to the Persians, that is the Iranians, okay, and ignite World War III, and they think, okay, they think they'll have the advantage, right, in world after they destroy all those Muslim countries, right, because they say they're attacking us, right, the occupiers, right, so they figure, okay, they're going to use that as an excuse to destroy those Muslim nations, right, and as I said, and then they wanted Ukraine to have Russia invade them, and then fight NATO, right? Try to use NATO to destroy Russia, and then all they'd have left is China, right? Okay, it was a big game. They were playing a little strategy, right? Like tic-tac-toe, right? Okay, so we already talked about how to deal with them, right? That is to boycott them, sanction them, don't trade with them, kick out the military bases, kick out their ambassadors, close their embassies down, and isolate them. Isolate them. They'll stop that war. They'll stop the genocide in Palestine real quick, right? America, the Zionist Biden can sell the 7 seas blue, but he won't have nowhere to roost those warships, right? Okay. Because they'll have no need for them. Can't fight the money, right? Okay, can't fight a boycott, right? They can't destroy the boycott, right? They can't do that, right? Okay, they can't use a warship against the boycott, right? Okay. So, after they ethnically cleansed the Afro-Kemetic Al-Kibula nation of Palestine, they want to destroy all the Arab nations, hoping that the Arab nations will come in and save the Palestinians, right? Okay, which it'd be, nice, but they can't. There are other ways to defeat them without breaking down their own country, like they did with the so-called 9/11, the job inside, right? Okay, so they want to destroy all the Arab nations as they have destroyed Libya. They seek to go after the Iran, right? They want to destroy Iran's military, right? Because they feel threatened by Iran, not because Iranians do anything to threaten people, because Iran has not invaded a country in hundreds of years, from what I understand. So there's no real threat of Iran invading any country. Iran only fought Iraq because Iraq was told, under Saddam Hussein, was told to go in and invade Iran after the Iran had their revolution and kicked out the tyrant Shah, right? Who was a puppet of the West and persecuting his own people. So that is why the Ayatollahs took over Iran, and the people supported that because they were so finally happy that the Shah, the tyrant, who was kicked out in the revolution, and they, as I said, they wanted to go in there and take Iran back. And to this day, they have not forgiven Iran for taking back control of its own country. Another thing, too, they be announcing so much that Iran was given $6 billion, right? And with that $6 billion, what did they do? They funded, they funded terrorism in Hezbollah and Hamas, when in reality America funded Hamas and the Zionist Ashkenazi occupiers funded Hamas, right? Okay, so, now, so that money that was given to Iran was their own money. Because during the occupation, not the occupation, but during the Iran revolution, right? They froze Iranian assets. and the Iranian assets had been frozen for over 40 years. And that money that was given back to Iran was its own money that was frozen in American banks for years, for, as I said, 40 some odd years. So they didn't give Iran anything but what belonged to Iran, right? The Iranian people. Okay, so that story about, oh, they gave Iran the $6 billion. No, they did not. They gave Iran back its money, right? Okay, now, so, as I said, now, after they did their little, so-called ethnic cleansing and trying to get rid of Russia, and then go in and take over Africa, right? They would have known that then they would have control of the world, and that was their strategy: take control of the world, and that's what this war is about. I mean, the genocide is about, to take control of the world by way of starting World War III, right? Okay. Now, a nuclear war, and putting Gen Zers out there to go fight it, right? Putting the youngest generation. Now, from what I understand, that war, that proxy war, that the West exploited the Ukrainians, and Ukrainians were part of it too, the Nazis. You know, that war, that proxy war, it has cost not only millions, thousands, millions of lives over there, but what else it's done was it caused a whole generation of young people to be lost. I'm talking about a whole generation of young people to be lost. And now they want to do that to America. And I told you once, I reported once before, once they ran out of money to throw at the war, they would start throwing American bodies at the war. And now that's what they're doing, throwing American bodies at the war, because America has no more money to throw at the wars. So they're using American bodies. And the Zionist Israel is the last stand for them, the last stand for colonialism, the last stand for imperialism, the last stand for totalitarianism, the last stand for plantation consciousness, the last stand for authoritarianism. Is the last stand. And they know that. So they're willing to go all or for nothing. It's all or nothing, because they have nothing to lose. No, they have nothing to lose, but they have everything to lose by not fighting. And that's why they're willing to fight. Because they figure they're fighting with the investments they've made over the centuries. The World War I, the World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, all the wars in South America, all the occupation, all the stealing of the resources. They're fighting with that in mind, all that they have invested. And they don't want to lose their investment now. All that they went in debt for, they don't want to lose that. So they're fighting, and they're trying to get a war, a global war going on. Humanity must not allow that to happen. Okay? Humanity must stand and continue to protest for Palestine. Okay? Now, so the Zionist occupation is the last stand. It's their last stand, and they know that. So now what do we say? Okay, so they shall attempt to come for the remaining, after they, tried to get rid of Russia, get rid of Iran, right? Because those are what they consider to be their threats. Not because Iran wants to invade, but because Iran still has its military intact. Iran still has an economy. Iran still has a strong population that is strong enough to fight. Iran is not weak. So they want to go in there under the guise of Iran helped Hezbollah. Iran is responsible for Hamas. So let's go do genocide in Iran. And from what I understand, they have over 100 million people in Iran. So they want to genocide over 100 million people all at once, like they did with the transatlantic slave trade, right? Not slave trade, but Hebrew Israelites into slavery, right? Okay. And lost all those people in what? The transatlantic, in the ocean, who jumped in the ocean, right? Rather than be enslaved, right? All those bodies at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, right? Okay, so that's the game they're playing there. Okay. So now, they want to just get in there and weaken Iran so that, like a snake, what does he do? He put the venom in the body. When he bites the body, he puts his venom in to break down the body to make it easier to digest. Well, that's what they're trying to do with Iran. Put in their venom, right, by striking it and making it easy to just go in there and take their natural resources and take over their nation, their country, right? Occupy their country too. Why not? They have the whole world, right? Okay. And with depopulation, they can, one man can basically, from his perspective, own one country, right? Okay. Now, so they all attempt to come, they want to, okay, so they want to come, so they shall attempt to come for the remaining nations of Al-Qibula, after they got rid of Iran and Russia, and then China, and that's all that would be left, right? And the West would think they're going to rise again. And that's why, what did Netanyahu say when he went to the United Nations? They were going to build, a canal that would take all the exports from, by way of their headquarters, right, in Palestine, take it to where? Take it to Europe, the West. Take it from Africa, right, and take it to Europe. Right? Because if they destroy all of Russia, destroy China, how they gonna get to Europe? Right? They have no need to go to China. They have no need to go to Russia because it looked just like Palestine, right? So they have to build another canal, and all the other countries would be so-called destroyed according to them. You'd have those Arab countries, right, would be destroyed. Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, Libya, all those Arab countries, right? Right. So they'd have to have another way to transport their, another way, as I said, another way to transport their goods. Okay, now, so after the Arab countries are destroyed, they would come for the African countries, right? And all their natural resources and exterminate them. They wouldn't enslave them. They wouldn't have to colonize. They take over the land, which you have right now. Zionists going to other nations that practice Hebrew Israelite nations, and trying to have some type of camaraderie with them, not so much to ally with them, no, but to kind of send out scouts to see what type of natural resources they have, what type of life they have, what temperament of the people, if they're willing to fight back, or, things of that nature, So when they're ready to move in, then they know what type of people they're dealing with. Because from what I understand, in the past, many of the African nations survived the colonialism because they were too tough to completely dominate, as an example of the Mau Mau, right? And Charles's so-called sneaky way to try to get back into Kenya by way of Ruto, right? And Ruto is a Capricorn, right? Born on the 21st, right? Of December 3rd month. He born on the 21st, that's 33. And he's born Ramadan 9, right? Okay. And he was born December 21st, 1966. So you have 666. So William Ruto is representing the beast for them because he's a Capricorn. Right? So he's representing their sword. And that's why they went there and gave the salute to the unknown soldier, right? The Mau Mau unknown soldier, right? because William is supposed to lend his sword. And from what I understand, Kenya's under a lot of debt. So they probably promised him he'll, they'll relieve his debt, they'll keep his economy afloat, and all the Kenyan people are supposed to think, William Ruto made miracles, right? Like Tupac said, Mama made miracles every Thanksgiving, right? So Ruto is supposed to make miracles, and it was just Thanksgiving, right? Okay. Right before Thanksgiving, he made a deal with the devil, right? So, and from what I understand, he's supposed to introduce the mark of the beast to the Kenyan people by way of iris, right? Their eye, right? They're supposed to give identification by way of their eye, right? Yeah, so he's to be the sword because what? He is a Capricorn, right? So he's supposed to represent their military, and probably 9 times out of 10 for his allegiance, he's going to probably have to use his military to infiltrate other countries, convince other countries to ally with them, with the West, because they're gonna have to, if they're gonna have a so-called technological. Oh, we're gonna go to video 9.